Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this additional council meeting. I would like to begin by asking Councillor James to do a welcome to country, please.
Thank you, Mayor O'Keefe and my fellow councillors. Firstly, I pay my respects to our ancestors. I acknowledge our elders, both past, present and emerging. I would like to acknowledge the Yorta nations and all its people whose land we meet on today. So on behalf of the Elders Council, the 16 family groups and the 8 respected tribes who proudly share in the status of traditional owners of this land, I say a very warm welcome to this wonderful land and country and waterways. Thank you, Mayor O'Keefe.
Thank you very much, Councillor James. We, Greater Shepparton City Council, acknowledge the Yorta peoples of the land, which now comprises Greater Shepparton. We pay our respects to their tribal elders, we celebrate their continuing culture and we acknowledge the memory of their ancestors. Item 3, which is a privacy notice. This public meeting is being streamed live via our Facebook page and made available for public access on our website, along with the official minutes of this meeting. The governance principles. Council considers that the recommendations contained in this agenda gives effect to the overarching governance principles stated in section 9-2 of the Local Government Act 2020. These principles are as follows, which are listed from item 1 to 9 in the agenda on page 5. Apologies, we have no apologies today, so nil received. Do we have any declarations of conflict of interest that need to be declared today? No. Councillors, we now go to page 7, item 7.1, the council plan for 2021 to 2025. There is also a recommendation on page 7. Would a council like to move a motion, please? Would someone like to move a motion? Councillor Spinks.
Thank you, Mayor O'Keefe. I'd like to move the recommendation to a motion that the council adopts the council plan 2021 to 2025 as attached to this report.
Thank you very much. Do I have a seconder, please? Councillor Brophy. Councillor Spinks, would you like to speak to the motion?
Yes, thank you. So this is the finally adopting the council plan for the next 4 years. This has been the end result of months of hard work and the implementation of a new process, better including and understanding the community's wants being built into it. So this has gone through numerous drafts, numerous consultations. We've had a panel of community members that have contributed to it before it even got to us, and the intention is that it reflects the vision and the plan for the community over the next 4 years and beyond. And we have thrown it back and forth. We have looked at it from every angle. We have listened to the feedback that has come through. We've tried to build it into an overarching strategic document that gives us the vision and the breadth to do what we need to do over the next 4 years to keep Greater Shepparton growing and thriving and developing, especially in times of unprecedented change. And for myself, I'm quite happy with the document and the way that it's landed. We've been up against tight deadlines to try and get it through, but what we have landed on today that we're potentially adopting is what I think is a fine document that has a very broad recognition of the economic, environmental and social needs of our community. We've made sure to look at not only what our community wants, but also what our community needs on the ground from the very diverse range of communities that exist across our municipality. I think it's a great document. I'm very happy to endorse it today.
Thank you very much. Councillor Brophy, would you like to speak to the motion?
Yes, thank you very much, Mayor O'Keefe. Look, I commend firstly the community panel who put together the community vision at the very beginning of this particular process. It was an extraordinary panel that came together, great diversity. We made sure that there was an additional diversity put into that particular panel, and that proved very fruitful as well. Mosaic Labs, who were the facilitation consultants on this, love the way that they were able to put it together as well, and in being able to tune in either as observers or people working as councillors working through the particular plan. The way that they were able to put that together with their facilitation was really second to none, so well done on them. and also the governance team who sort of miss out on some kudos sometimes. But Daryl and James particularly, a shout out to them, who really worked very hard on this, and they deserve a good pat on the back. The community vision, well, you know, you can look at it and you can say, well, there's fluffy words, and, you know, sometimes it is if there's no actions behind it. Plans are very well-meaning, and they do set the strategic direction over the next 4 years, particularly for this council. How much relevance they are will depend on how much of implementation of the actions that we undertake. Now, would anybody, be it councillor or be it a member of the public, be 100% with a council plan? It's very doubtful, because you look at it and, you know, we've got 9 individual councillors with really 9 varying thoughts and objectives and passions. So no one's ever going to be 100%, but it is one strategic direction. And I think this is very, very important. It's now about achieving. It's now about making sure that we actually deliver on the council plan. And although I've had my scepticism, not only on the arbitrary KPIs and the targets, and I know the exec will be having wry smiles on that because I kept bringing it up quite a bit. What I would change of it, of course, you know, if I had an opportunity, I probably would, and I think every individual would probably change aspects of it. But collectively, we're very, very happy with it. Our plan is deliverable. It's achievable. It not only stacks up very well against other council plans, but it really is a solid, workable document, not a dust collector. I am very proud to be part of a council that takes its social obligations to the community as seriously as it does its capital, waste, and financial plans. I commend this council plan and the community vision, and I look forward to seeing it come to fruition.
Thank you very much. Would any councillor wish to speak against the motion? Would a councillor wish to speak to the motion? Councillor James.
Thank you, Mayor O'Keefe. The council plan 2021 to 25 is what the title suggests. It is a plan, and that's important to consider too as well. And plans over time can change, can vary, but needs to have that flexibility to adjust to what the community needs are. And that's exactly what we've done in this plan. We've incorporated the community voices, and it was important to establish a community panel and coupled with the community vision statement. We've come up with a plan which is what we believe and what the community believe is the right direction for us to take us from here to 2025. And as Councillor Brophy said, I'd like to thank the community panel members that put their hand up and applied and showed, you know, that they wanted to have that all-important voice on our council and an all-important voice as to where we need to be going. And there was times, you know, and for their commitment, there was weekend meetings set up. So, you know, thank them for going out of their time, out of their way to commit towards this plan too as well. The panel, as I said, as mentioned, this panel met on 7 occasions to propose the community outcomes. The plan incorporates strategic directions. It considers the councillors' objectives during our term. Of course, when we were campaigning, we had a number of initiatives that we wanted to incorporate into our plan and where we wanted to go over our term. So that is also considered councillors' objectives too as well. Our community have had the opportunity to look at the plan. We received the feedback and incorporated this feedback into our discussions. So with the councillors, the community panel and employees, and also a number of advisory groups, we have come up with a plan which we believe is going to be our vision here to 2025. So I'm happy to support the adoption of this plan, Mayor O'Keefe.
Thank you very much. Any councillor wish to speak to the motion? Councillor Abdullah.
Thank you, Mayor O'Keefe. I just wanted to, basically, I'll echo the sentiments expressed by my fellow councillors just now. They have said everything that I wanted to say, but in addition, I also want to say thanks to the whole community and the community panel that was established and the participants who really actively participated in that exercise and gave us some valuable insights into their aspirations and presented a voice for the whole community. We also received, during our preliminary consultation, we received survey responses from a large number of our community members across the region, across the municipality, whether it's small towns or whether it's Shepparton or Tatura or Murupna, everybody participated. So that's very pleasing to know. We received some 1,500 or so survey responses. And then we had the community panel, as everybody has just mentioned, that their contribution was really valuable. And of course, all the councillors, they also participated very actively and contributed to the plan with their aspirations and priorities. So overall, it does reflect the aspirations of the whole community. It is going to provide us with a strategic direction for the next 4 years, and it has identified all the themes that different members or different parts of the community members aspire council to do and to deliver. So we have identified 5 key strategic directions, and under those directions, priority projects have been identified and community outcomes have been established. So all in all, that exercise was lengthy. It was it involved many parts of the community, and through the hard work of our council staff and exec team, we are now in a position that the plan is in front of us for adoption. So I'm very happy to endorse and support this plan, and I look forward to its implementation in the next 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Would any other councillor wish to speak to the motion? No? Prior to going to the vote, I just want to also acknowledge our new councillors. It was an extraordinary time trying to put this council plan together, and I know it's new to many of you, and I thank you so much for your dedication and your questions and making sure that everything was in place for you to help contribute, and you absolutely contributed more than what I think any of us were expecting. So I just want to say well done. It's been a really busy time, and everyone has acknowledged externally, the staff, the deliberative engagement panel, which was very new, which has been raised, and I'd like to also thank them as well. It takes a whole community to come to some sort of alignment of what we should be looking at coming into the next year and 4 years. So yeah, well done to everyone, and it's been a hectic time, a really busy first term for all of you, first year, and council plan is a huge part of this, and we've got there finally towards the end of the day. Happy we'll endorse it. So we'll now go to the vote. All those in favour? Motion carried, unopposed. Well done. Councillors, we'll now go to page 11, item 8.1, nomination of Greater Shepparton City Council as Chair of Region 2 of the Murray-Darling Association. There's a recommendation also on page 11. Would a council like to move a motion? Councillor Priestley?
Thank you, Mayor O'Keefe. I would like to move a motion as per page 7 of the agenda that the council adopt, I beg your pardon.
11.
That the council nominate Councillor Jeff Dobson as nominee for Chair for Region 2 of the Murray-Darling Association, and 2, commit resources, secretariat support to assist the administrative functions to support the Region Chair position. So just to confirm, that's page 11.
Thank you very much. Do I have a seconder, please? Councillor James? Councillor Priestley, would you like to speak to the motion?
Thank you, Mayor O'Keefe. So the Murray-Darling Association's the peak body for all of the councils that occupy the Murray-Darling Basin. There's a vast number, and we sit within Region 2 of those councils, which include the following councils: Federation Council, the current chair, Berrigan Shire Council, Edward River Council, and the Moira Shire Council. The Murray-Darling Association is really a very important organisation. Collaboration on the Murray-Darling Basin Plan and other management issues around the Murray-Darling Basin is really complex and difficult work, and requires a great deal of collaboration. And one of the most useful platforms for that collaboration has been the Murray-Darling Association. So the ground level councils across the whole area, really exchanging information about what's going on, how the plan and other factors such as environmental changes are affecting local communities, and trying to build a common sense of understanding about what's going on. It's very, very important that we have a strong voice sitting on that group, because we need to articulate to other councils what's happening to us, for us, as a result of the changes that are going on in the basin. So I absolutely support Councillor Dobson seeking the role as chair for Region 2. I think he'd be a great leader, and it really gives us the opportunity to put a clear and concise voice to the broader Murray-Darling Association about the issues our region is facing. And if you look at where we're at in the cycle of the Murray-Darling Basin Plan, there's still 450 gigalitres of water that can potentially be recovered. And if that is to occur, it's likely that that will come from our region, and that will be economically devastating and questionable in terms of its ability to be delivered down the river and achieve good environmental outcomes. So there's some really big issues to be tackled by this organisation, and Councillor Dobson's a great person to be taking those issues forward.
Thank you very much. Councillor James, would you like to speak to the motion?
Thank you, Mayor O'Keefe. And just to continue on with Councillor Priestley's comments with regards to Councillor Dobson's nomination. Look, this is a very important position within the Murray-Darling Association, but an important conduit, I guess, for our region to be involved in as well. This is our voice for our region, our opportunity to empower our council's position to water supplies and waterways in our region. Very important part of our waterways in our region. And basically, the waterways are the arteries of our country, and it's important that we have a voice, have our say in regards to not only our region, but also our affiliating regions, which has councils very close within our borders. This is a voice for our region. It's our opportunity to empower our councils at position with water supplies and waterways in our region. Having Councillor Dobson as a chair for this region is testament and recognition to his thorough involvement and commitment to water distribution right throughout not only New South Wales and Victoria, but other connecting states and territories as well. But also it's recognition and respect for our region, I believe, too, as well. So I fully support the nomination of Councillor Dobson, and also the recommendation for administration support. It's only a small amount, but it's a big task to do with regards to administration. So fully support the nomination. Thank you, Mayor O'Keefe.
Thank you very much. Would any councillor wish to speak against the motion? Would a councillor wish to speak to the motion? Councillor Brophy?
Thank you, Mayor O'Keefe. Reiterating what both Councillor Priestley and Councillor James has said, but what a coup for us should Councillor Dobson be accepted after this nomination as chair of Region 2 of the Murray-Darling Association, but also what a coup for the Murray-Darling Association to have someone with his expertise, his passion for the region and for waterways, and particularly being put in such a position on our behalf is just fantastic. And I wish him all the very best with that particular nomination going forward. Water is the key issue here in the region. Everything we do, whether it be around climate change, whether it be around council planning, everything always comes back to the water. And to have an advocate so strongly and pushing so vigorously on our behalf to make sure that we can retain our water the best we can, to look at what's happening in and around the whole Murray-Darling Basin is going to be really crucial over this next decade, but certainly over the next few years. Can I also please thank, well done to the CEO and the executive to back this nomination in regards to the resources. This is it shows how important this particular role is, and it's been recognised by our own council by putting resources in behind that in terms of the Secretariat support. So well done there, and I wish Councillor Dobson all the very best. Thank you.
Any other councillor wish to speak to the motion? Councillor Sarley?
Thanks, Mayor O'Keefe. Excuse me, obviously very well covered from my fellow councillors, and obviously all highlighting the importance of water security for our region. But it doesn't really mean much if you haven't got a strong voice, and that has been touched on, the importance of having Councillor Dobson sitting around the table, and I'm sure that he'll be very successful in gaining the chair's role and pushing a very good case for, you know, all regions, but especially ours in Greater Shepparton as well. So congratulations, Jeff, Councillor Dobson, I should say. I wish you every success, and I'm sure this will be a positive outcome for our region.
Thank you very much. Would any other council wish to speak to the motion? Councillor Dobson.
Thank you, Mayor O'Keefe. I'd just like to thank my fellow councillors for their endorsement to date, and just to let everybody know that the chair of Region 2, in fact, goes to the National Board. So if I'm successful, I will be part of one of 12 national directors that has got an ear right into the Murray-Darling Basin Authority, right into the policymakers within the federal sphere. So it's a big issue, and I'd just like to finish up by thanking our CEO Peter Harriott, whose endorsement of not me in particular, but of the position of Greater Shepparton, having a position on the board as a chair, is never been in doubt. So, Peter, I'd just like to thank you and your team for backing me on this one. Thanks, Mayor O'Keefe.
Okay, thank you very much. Would any other council wish to speak to the motion? We will now go to the vote. All those in favour? Motion carried, unopposed. So that's the end of our meeting today, council. So I'd like to declare the meeting closed at 20 minutes past 3. Thank you very much.